Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. GM roars out of bankruptcy in record time. Lutz decides not to retire. And Suzuki and Mitsubishi are advised to drop out of the American market. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Friday, July 10th, 2009, and now the news. The new General Motors officially began at 6:30 this morning. GM CEO Fritz Henderson will also take over all North American operations, eliminating Troy Clark's job as president of NAO. The Strategy Board and Automotive Product Board are also eliminated, replaced by a smaller executive committee. All international operations will now report to Nick Riley, who will remain headquartered in Shanghai. Also, 77-year-old Bob Lutz is staying on as vice chairman of the company, now in charge of all creative elements in product and customer relations. GM says he'll be working as a team with Tom Stevens, who took over Lutz's old job, and he'll be working with Ed Welburn, who's head of GM Design. Cash for Clunkers programs in Europe have been successful in boosting sales, but Renault CEO Carlos Ghosn warns that when these incentives expire at the end of the year, it's going to hurt car sales next year. According to Bloomberg, Ghosn sees 2010 as a difficult year and does not see a recovery in sales. He also said governments should prepare additional measures to, and I quote, avoid a shock when the programs end. Citing falling sales and excess manufacturing capacity in the U.S., a Japanese economic analyst says Suzuki and Mitsubishi should leave the American market. Suzuki sales fell 80% last month, and Mitsubishi sales have been cut in half. According to Bloomberg, Mitsubishi shut down its U.S. design studio earlier in the year, and its plant in Illinois is now operating at just 10% of its capacity. Suzuki's joint plant with GM in Canada stopped making the XL7 this year, and it hasn't announced a new vehicle to be built there. With comedian Jay Leno on hand, Jaguar unveiled its brand new XJ in London. Looking a lot like its smaller sibling, the XF, the redesigned flagship offers a host of luxury features and a striking design. Powering the new Big Cat is a lineup of engines ranging from a 3-liter diesel V6 to a range-topping supercharged V8. Aiding performance is a lightweight aluminum body that the company claims makes the car about 150 kilograms, roughly 330 pounds, lighter than its competition. Standard and long wheelbase models will be available from launch. Depending on where you live, you can advance order the new XJ with delivery starting early next year. Pricing starts at gulp 52,000 pounds, or right around $85,000. Autoblog is running this story. Apparently, Mini has been caught testing a crossover in the California desert. The prototype sports a psychedelic black and yellow camouflage pattern, but that's not enough to hide the extra rear doors and high-riding stance. It looks like the company is moving forward with production of the Mini crossover concept that debuted at last year's Paris Motor Show. Coming up next, a preview of this week's episode of Autoline Detroit, all about the latest car ads that are on TV.
Changing tires out here could be dangerous, but with these tires, I don't need to worry.
Bridgestone.
This week's episode of Autoline is all about how automakers advertise in a desperate economic climate and how they put a spotlight on their brands. Joining me to discuss the ads that are out there right now are Bud Liebler, former head of Chrysler Advertising and Marketing, David Kiley of Business Week, and Gene Halliday of Advertising Age. In the following snippet, we talk about Buick's latest ads and whether or not they can really work.
I actually think it's terrific. I was a believer for a long time that the brand that ought to go away is Buick, and it should go to China because they love them in China and keep Pontiac here. Well, they didn't do that, so fine. So if you've got Buick, you have got to change the perception of that car. I mean, it's just your father's Oldsmobile, it's your grandfather's
That
Buick.
campaign didn't work either.
That didn't either. And I think this new campaign will get people to take a look, stop and look at what's that all about. And you got to look quick to see Buick, but that shows a little bit of confidence and chutzpah too. So,
I will humbly disagree with my friend Bud. I think this is a very indulgent ad. I think that more than ever, Buick needs clarity and coherency around what this product line and what this brand is. The very idea that you don't know that it's Buick, unless you know the logo, which comes up, a few times in the ad until the end, it's the definition of, I think, what this brand does not need right now.
As always, you can watch the entire episode of Autoline on our website later this afternoon. Okay, it's Friday, and you all know what that means. It's payday. I mean, it's really time to announce the winner of this week's trivia contest. We threw down the gauntlet and challenged you to tell us which defunct Chrysler brand was closed down in 1960. And the answer is Plymouth. Nah, just kidding. Everybody knows they were shuttered in 2001. The correct answer is De Soto. Named after Spanish conquistador Hernandez de Soto, the brand was axed from the Chrysler lineup way back in 1960. As always, we randomly selected this week's winner from the pool of correct responses, and that lucky person is Ron Halsey of Tacoma, Washington. Congratulations, Ron. You just won a book about and a poster of the Jaguar XK concept. Anyway, that'll do it for Autoline Daily this week. Thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.